For an in-depth look at our work on the Indiana Achievement Wallet, I've invited Darin Hobbs into a conversation today. He serves as WGU's Director of Academic Records and Credentials and Careers.
That's
Welcome,
right.
Darin.
Thank you, Marnie.
So, Indiana Achievement Wallet, super exciting project.
Yes, it
You've
is.
been thinking about this stuff for a really long time,
Yeah.
but working on it diligently over the last couple of years. It actually is starting to exist, like get real, become a thing,
It is.
right? And so, so we can sort of put all of this conversation we're going to have in context, because we know it's going to get just a little bit wonky and nerdy at some points. Like, what is it? Like, I'm imagining it in my hand, like Facebook or Airbnb or something like that. It's some kind of application. And when I look at that application, when I look at my wallet, like, what do I see? What's it look like? And what do you dream it's going to look like?
So, interestingly, much like the apps that you've described, the Indiana Achievement Wallet's going to give you the opportunity to look at it in different ways. So if you want to start by looking at the credentials that you've earned, you can. And you can just look at those and scroll through them. You can click into them, read about them, see the skills that you've now demonstrated by earning that credential. By looking at it, if you decide you want to share it out to your friends or family or even your professional network, LinkedIn, you can do that from right there. You can also then maybe click over into a tab or a section of the wallet that shows you some information about where do I go next? What am I qualified to do right now based upon these credentials and my skills? Are there job opportunities? And if so, what are they? And what direction am I heading? Am I, when I started earning these credentials, I had an idea that that's where I want to go. That's where I want to end up. So I can look at my compass, if you will, and see that I'm on track. But I'm also made aware of the fact that there's some byways and some highways that can take me in a slightly different direction. And as I investigate those, I can also see jobs and income potential for those jobs that maybe as I read about them, I think to myself, that's really who I am. I want to go that way. How do I go that way? What's my next step? What do I need to do? Are there additional credentials I need to earn? It can show you all of that. And then lastly, you can also look at your app and understand that, oh wow, I just got a notification that there's 5 employers interested in my skills, interested in my credentials. Well, and they're asking to engage with me. So I'm just going to look, oh no, not that one. X, away with you. But these 3, I'm going to go ahead and respond to them. And then when the right time occurs, I can curate a unique record package of my credentials with portfolio evidence, work experience, and send that off to them.
And it's verified.
It's verified. What the employer will see is that the credentials that I'm now sending to them, who issued them, that they are trustable because they've been instantiated, they've been listed on the blockchain, and they have not been tampered with.
Okay, so we're going to get back to the blockchain.
Okay.
But, before we talk about blockchain, do I own this record? I mean, do I have to ask for these credentials to be verified? I mean, as a earner learner, like, is it my record?
It's your record. You control that record. You get to decide who can even find you based upon skills, find you anonymously. And I think that's really important, that you're not required to put your full identity out there. It's your skills. The fact that a credential was issued and there's skills attached to it, and anyone who wants to hire you or recruit you based upon those skills, they're looking for skills. They're not looking for Marnie. They're looking for a lot of Marnies. And you're one that shows up, but they don't know who you are. You get to decide whether or not you want to send your credentials, whether or not they're searchable and discoverable, whether or not you want to engage with an employer or anyone else that might be interested in it's all under your control. So yeah, You own that record. You get to use that record the way you see fit.
So obviously this is complex work. You know, there's the record itself, there's the participating educational institutions and employers. I mean, there's a whole ecosystem of stakeholders and participants who sort of be a part of this. And that's what I think is super exciting about this project, because it is that. I mean, it's a really robust partnership with IBM and National Student Clearinghouse and Credential Engine and Skillful Indiana and others. Like, tell me about that partnership. Like, why do we need that? And what are some of the big players in the partnership, and what are they bringing to the table?
So it is a powerful partnership because this is a powerful, paradigm-changing technology, vision, concept, and service. No one group of any of us can provide, develop this kind of a solve, if you will. It takes a community. So a community came together of like-minded individuals and organizations that saw that there is a real need to empower learner workers to understand, importantly, understand the value that they bring to their current employer, a potential new employer, their first employer, another school. It's important that these learner workers understand their value, control their record, be able to decide how to use their record. We all feel the same way. We also recognize that the technologies, plural, required to create this vision of the Indiana Achievement Wallet and bring it to life required different areas of expertise, different areas of experience. So that pulled the community together. So, you know, the names that you've listed off, IBM, everyone knows who IBM is. And so what they bring to the mix is the use of the hyperledger, the blockchain, as well as some of the applications that make this technology work. The National Student Clearinghouse, which is a nonprofit that's been in business for more than a couple of decades, they hold a lot of the information about learners already. And that information is part of what learners need to understand and control. Skillful Indiana understands that it takes, again, a community of service providers to meet individuals where they're at. Technology's great, super powerful. But if I have concerns about food, housing, taking care of my kids, how do I get to work? Do I even have technology? We've got to meet them there because we need to bring this technology to them. So these partners have all come together to create that reality and to provide that level of service.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very powerful partnership, and we're really thankful for the Lilly Foundation's support of it as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we, when was that? It was last summer. We won a $1 million startup award for this work, and that's really helped. I don't know that we could have done it without that assistance.
Yeah.
So why Indiana? I mean, there's WGU Indiana. Indiana is an amazing state. There's a lot of interesting problems to be solved in Indiana, as well as opportunities to be grasped. Why Indiana?
So Indiana, I mean, the most obvious answer, but it's not the full answer, is that, well, that's where the Lilly Foundation is based. But Indiana, in many ways, for many years, has also been leading the charge around advancing the use of technology in the education space, and from K through 12 into higher ed. They have been forward thinking about taking advantage of leveraging technology to solve a lot of their problems around data, understand what's happening within their state regarding education, et cetera. So Indiana is really an obvious choice, and It was nice that the Lilly Foundation, also housed in Indiana, was willing to provide this money. I suspect they may have anyway, but Indiana also needs to understand how to take individuals coming out of high school, individuals just getting a high school diploma regardless of age, and move them into an education trajectory that provides them skills so that they can become productive Hoosiers.
Yeah. Is it limited, though? Is this solution limited in any way to Indiana? Is it Indiana, kind of specific in its design?
In the design, absolutely not. The project is Indiana focused, but we have deliberately built this solution. We have designed the solution with the understanding that it's good for Indiana. It needs to be good for everybody else. We need to make this extensible. It should be adoptable regardless of state, regardless of geographic boundary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is just so potentially revolutionary in what it might do to engine greater social and economic mobility in Indiana or anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, how are you thinking about that? What is the deeper mission here when it comes to equity and social and economic mobility?
Kind of what's driving this is the understanding talent's everywhere. Potential is everywhere. The problem, which I believe you spoke to in your intro to this section, is that sadly, people are not always aware of their own potential. They're not aware of the opportunities in their area or outside of their area. They are focused on the problems that's immediately facing them, which makes it difficult to address and understand how over that next hill is better opportunity. So this solution can address those points that you just made around inclusion, equity, et cetera, by doing a couple of things. Making it accessible to everyone, no cost, making it accessible to them, providing them with the services that they need to not let Maslow's hierarchy of needs get in the way. Mm-hmm. That we can deal with that too, so that you can focus on your development as a skilled individual, as a professional, as you develop that identity and choose your path. We can help you with that. And by shifting the dynamic of a hiring practice, a hiring behavior from who do you know, how can I find someone for this job role? What if I just go search based upon the job role skills? And then I get returned to me a pool of candidates that have the skills, that are verified, that fit my job role. I don't know anything else about them. Mm-hmm. So now we've eliminated some even unconscious biases that may come into play when you're looking at a resume or receiving a cold job application.
Yeah.
You're now engaging with someone based upon talent.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to lead to the degree fading as the proxy for talent? In other words, like right now, a lot of times what they see is, oh, that person went to Harvard or Indiana University or Ivy Tech or Slippery Rock University. You know, they've got in their mind a sense of what those schools are like and who goes to those schools. Do you think this is perhaps going to deconstruct that kind of elitism that comes with that and make people look at who people are and what they're able to do? Do you see degrees fading away in this context?
I think that the elitism may fade away because of this. I think the value of a degree as a credential, not necessarily so. Instead, I think that we in higher ed and other education spaces are going to be required to redefine the value of such a credential, as opposed to just get your degree, then get a job, and people will hire you because of the school you went to.
Yeah.
That's going to change. Instead, it's going to be making it clear, abundantly clear, how a degree, regardless of level, contributes to the skills bucket.
Yeah.
Why does it matter? Why is it important? And so we'll design better degrees, frankly, I think. But the nice thing about this is that degree is not a requirement. Instead, micro-credentials, steps along the way, is what will matter most. But the degree will still have value depending on how we define it.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, you are so incredibly passionate about this work and have worked day and night and weekend in and out to get this really dreamy project going. Like, what keeps you going? And why is this so important to you personally?
So, I grew up in a tiny town in Texas, and we were not well off as a family. I was absolutely not a stellar student in the public education system, and the only reason I went to college was because my brother, who understood the value of education, told me that I needed to go. I was content to work for Kmart and do blue light specials. That was my future. It's all I knew. And oh, by the way, I was really good at blue light
I
specials.
bet you were. I
Yeah.
bet you were. I'm imagining
Yeah.
your kind of smock and your outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
And even though I went to college and chose my major based upon what didn't require math, because did I want to be a psychologist? No. It just didn't require math. I was not deliberate, I was not intentional, I was not directional in the choices I made growing up. Now, I recognize that I'm still a person that enjoys privilege. I'm not ignorant of that. But I also recognize that despite the privilege, I was insecure, I was ignorant, I had no self-insight, I had no introspection. I didn't even know where to begin. And I think that if we can start to solve what I think of as a universal condition of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, lack of self-awareness, not being able to describe why I have value. And if I can't describe why I have value, then do I have value? That hurts. That destroys me and it destroys people. I want to change that. I want people to know, of course you have value. You just have lacked the words. You have lacked the insight. Here, now you can understand your value. Now you can talk about your value. Now you can see how, because of your value, you fit in all of these different places. And because of your value, there's also more potential than you could ever even dream of. I want to throw, you said windows earlier. I want to throw those windows wide open. I want to blow away the fog and reveal the beautiful horizons that beckon people. All because now I understand I'm valuable.
Yeah, I love that. That is so touching, and I love that way of thinking about value. It is so powerful. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been great to hear about this, and we can't wait to see this get in the hands of students and earners and learners and Hoosiers and whoever's, and get you back in here to show us the application and how it works.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
The Provost Monthly Update is your opportunity to share good news happening across the academic organization. Let us know when you or someone you work with has been involved with something exciting and noteworthy. Reach out to us with your news and story ideas at academicnews@wgu.edu. Thanks for watching the Provost Monthly Update. We'll see you next time.